Hi everyone, blessed be. So I'm sitting on my floor because I'm about to get my Yule tree out and set it up ready for Yule. So, and I'm sitting by the fire because it's cold. She says wearing a t-shirt. But anyway, let's have a look. Yeah, I left some of the decorations on from last year because I was going to use them again this year. So there are some bits hanging off it, but I am going to redo it. Let's get the base out. Right, the base of this, it's like a big chunk of plaster, and it's a 3 foot, is it? Something like that. 2 foot, what's it say on the box? Oh, if I read the box, 3 foot. So it's a 3 foot flocked tree. So it's got like fake snow on it. Okay. So I'm just gonna get all the branches back out and have a look at what decorations I left, because I am lazy when it comes to putting stuff away, so I will just fold up the tree with the decorations on it and put it away. But at least I know where all my decorations are each year. Just means it's a bit tangled with tinsel. So I'm going to get off the items I had on last time, and I'm going to explain why I picked those particular items and why I picked those colours. Just so you know a bit more about a Yule tree. So let's take off some of these. I wonder where I put these decorations actually, so it's quite good that I left them on the tree. I'd have never found them otherwise. Okay. Sorry, this is the boring bit where I'm constantly unwrapping stuff. Yeah, I'll turn around so you can see the tree. So what I've got to do is I've got to pull each branch down and then separate out the different little sprigs and things, and get fake snow everywhere because it always drops a bit of snow when I open it up. But it's a pretty little tree, and if you're wondering why I don't use a real tree, number one, I don't believe in killing a tree just so you can have it look pretty in your house for a season. Why kill a perfectly good tree for that? I'd much rather use a fake tree. Now obviously I know fake trees are not good for the environment, but this is the 3rd year of using this tree and I will continue to use this tree. I will not get a new one. I will not throw this one away. This will carry on being used, and it will get passed down and used until it reaches the point where it is definitely unsalvageable. But that's going to be like many decades down the line, hopefully. I know like the Christmas tree that I have in the living room for my daughter, we've had that years, and there's nothing wrong with it, so it is going to last. So it's like, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like you either have a biodegradable Christmas tree, Yule tree. It's right, we have both in this house, so I sometimes use the terms interchangeably. You have a biodegradable one, or but that means you're killing a perfectly good tree, or you have a fake one. I suppose you could get a small one in a pot and then plant it in a forest when you're done with it. I suppose you could do that, so maybe that might be something I could look into. But yeah, I just don't feel comfortable bringing a tree into the house. Like, they should be outside in the forest, in nature, where they belong, you know what I mean? But you know, obviously we've all got our opinions on different things, so do whatever suits you. Right, I'm just sorting out now the individual little clumps of branches, and if you bend these just right, it looks like a nice, looks like quite nice and full. Okay, just taking off the decorations I've got. Right, so let's have a look. How are you looking? Basically what I want to do is any areas where it looks a bit sparse, I want to get the branches out and open them up a bit. Ooh, that's it, knock everything off. See if I can balance my iPad. There we go. Nope. Okay, so this is my tree. I'm just going to go around opening up individual branches and bits. Oh, it's more flocked on this side. Okay. So that's nice. I can have it looking quite wintry. Ooh, I like it this way. Okay, I'm going to have it this side forward. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's take that off. Okie dokie. I think that's looking pretty full and pretty open. I don't think I've missed anything. Okay. So this is the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the camera around now and, oh, actually what I'm going to do is talk about what I'm going to put on the tree first. So, right, my stand for my iPad's playing up now. Come on. Stick a tub behind it. There we go. Okay, so I'm covered in fake snow. So let's talk about what I'm going to put on this tree. First of all, I always put on this tree these little baubles that are filled with stars. For me, these represent, they're like little witch balls. So instead of actually making witch balls, it's almost like I've got some ready-made. I have had some of these where I've put herbs in them, because you can take the top off and refill these. But I like the ones with the stars in. Also, the reason for using these is because they are gold, and you put gold on your tree because it represents prosperity, and it represents the returning of the sun and bringing prosperity into your home. So that's why I have the gold. And I also have these little pieces of ribbon that I tie on to make little bows. Then you've got red for passion, and also obviously red and gold are traditional colours for Yule. So I like to put these on. I also put bells on because bells are used to ward off negativity and bless the home and bring good fortune. I've got bells and everything. I mean, I've got bells on my wrist that I wear every day. I've got witch bells on my door, above my door, on my other door, on my back door. I've got like a Valhalla ladder and witch bells out in my garden. I've got them all over the place. Bells are something that I've always used in my practice, and I just feel that they clear the air and lift the mood. These ones don't ring very well, but I've got some that sound really, really nice, like this one. And then have I noted anything else? So I'm just looking at my notes because I wanted to make sure I remember to mention everything. Oh yeah, and I'll put these on to represent the season, because obviously this time of year we get snowflakes, and I like this silvery colour to represent the moon and the moon goddess Selene, and just to also represent the season, but also my grandmother that passed had some of these in her house, so I like to put these on. It's like a little reminder of her as well. What else have I got? Oh, that's it for that stuff. And then I've got, when I dig them out, I've got, sorry, the sun's going bright, got some pine cones knocking around. And pine cones represent they're like a symbol of regeneration, immortality, of endurance and prosperity and protection. So I'll talk a bit more about pine cones in an upcoming video, because you can use them to make pine cone wishes as well. So that's quite nice. So yeah, so I will decorate this with the red, the gold and silver, and also with pine cones. Pine cones are quite fun. I remember doing those as a child, where you just get some pine cones that you've gathered from the park, and dip them in some glue and then sprinkle glitter all over them to make them nice and shiny, and they look like, hold on, let's see if I can find them in my drawer. Oh, that's got not decorated yet. Where are my glittery ones? Have I used them all in my, I think I've used them all in my, I think I've used most of them in my Yule cloche thing for my altar, so I will have to sort out putting some glitter on these. But all you do is just put a bit of glue on, sprinkle some glitter on them and hang them in the tree, whoops, with a bit of thread, and they look quite nice. I like to use natural materials if I can to decorate the tree, but it depends what I have on hand at the time as to what I use for the tree. I might even put some of my fake snow on it, because I've got plenty of fake snow. What have I done with the rest of my pine cones? There's one that's been sprayed silver, so that'll look nice in the tree. Some of my other pine cones, these are ones I've actually collected myself from down the road from me. There's like a few pine trees, and then there's also a couple of parks and stuff nearby, and we get thousands of these each year, so I go around and collect some. If you're worried about them having like bugs or anything in them, you can boil them. I think once they get wet though, because these open and close depending on the weather, so like they'll be open when it's dry and closed when it's wet, so they might close up if you try and boil them. I personally just leave them somewhere to thoroughly dry out, and like these are from last year, so there ain't nothing on there now. You could also, if you have little things like this, these look like little wood slices, what you could do is decorate them with some different pagan symbols to hang on your tree. So I'm going to do that with that one, being as I've just found it. Okay, so I don't know what I've done with the rest of my pine cones. I had like a box full last year. They'll be around. Okay, so I'm going to look at my tree and get my scissors. I've got some of this jute thread. I like to use this for hanging up the pine cones. Boom, 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 boom. La, 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 la. So I'm going to get my pine cone and I'm going to put a loop in my string and pop that through there like so, and I'm going to tie that to my tree. Okay, so this is what the Yule tree looks like in low light with the little fairy lights on. I've put it here where my altar setup was because this is the best place to put it. So I've actually moved my altar setup across the room, so it's like I've got two altars at the moment, one for Yule and one for just my general altar. So this is where it looks like in the light. At the bottom I've got some fake snow spread around and pine cones, and then I've got the lights, the tinsel and the decorations I talked about earlier on the tree. I've got my little wood spirit I carved at the bottom with these little star glittery shape decoration things. Under the tree is where I keep my little robin, so my robin is there, and I've tied the pine cones onto the tree, and I've got my little wood slice with Yule greetings written on it tied onto the tree as well, and the little snowflakes and everything like that I said I was going to put up before. So I'm really pleased with how it looks. And then what I've done as well is the little sort of star shape type things that I've got at the bottom. I've put one at the top of the tree. So yeah, I've got the snowflakes there. And you'll see in a bit when I pan up to the top of the tree, I've used one of the sort of snowflakey things as a tree topper at the top. I unfortunately had to do a voiceover for this part of the footage. I managed to cover the microphone during the whole of this section, so that's why I'm doing a voiceover over the top. There's one of the little ones, the little balls that are like the little witch ball things with little gold stars in to represent prosperity. And then these are, I picked these up from my local charity shop. I thought they could look quite nice. They're kind of like a cross between a star and a snowflake. And they're very glittery and silver, so I've put one at the top of the tree as like a tree topper, and it looks very nice. So here's a close-up look at the tree and the decorations, and if I move back, that's where it looks like as a whole. So that is my Yule tree all set up ready for Yule. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Blessed be, and bye for now.